What's going on, people? Back again for a new video on the channel for a new preview for Manchester United versus Lyon, and it's a pretty spicy tie. So let's get straight into it, people. Manchester United versus Lyon, Europa League tomorrow, Thursday, 4 p.m. whatever Canadian time is, 8 p.m. UK time. Get there. It's a big game for us. It's a big game for us. After a pretty boring Manchester derby, to say the least. That game was, I wish I could take my 90 minutes back. Right, I wish I could take my 90 minutes back. That was absolutely, that was awful. It was an awful watch. But we did get a result. As I said, I think we will. Man City aren't that great. But yeah, it's a good result for us regardless. We didn't lose, so that's good. But yeah, we have the Europa League. Our most important games of the season are the Europa League, as we all know, because we have to win this competition. We have to win this competition. Now, we still are unbeaten in Europe. Now, I'm not going to use that as a, kind of a thing to say, oh, we're going to win this game because we're unbeaten in Europe. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. So, yeah, but how do I feel about this game? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I don't remember the last time we played French opposition of this level. I think the last time we played French opposition was PSG. Really and truly, unless I'm wrong, y'all can correct me in the comments. I don't mind, but I think the last French opposition we played was PSG. And did we lose? We might have, but we have a good record versus PSG regardless. So against French clubs, it doesn't look like we're gonna do too badly. So obviously Lyon isn't as good as them, so there is that there. But we're not as good as we were back then either. So it really could be a thing of two ties. Like, we have to watch for certain players, like Ryan Cherky. That's the main player we have to watch for, and he should be on our transfer list as well. It's going to be a good audition for him to see how he performs. And I hope he doesn't have the greatest game in the world, because I don't want that he comes, has an amazing game while we go to France and absolutely tears us up, because that just wouldn't be good for business. People on Twitter are going to be like, oh, Ryan Cherky's not that good, he's overrated, blah, 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 which is just... Anyways, and 2 will be out the Europa League if he absolutely turns it up. I don't want to be out the Europa League, and but I also don't want him to get absolutely scrutinized on the media, on Twitter and social media, because he had a bad performance versus Manchester United. So I'm kind of caught between two, because we need to sign that man. 25 million M's, 25 million pounds for a player of that quality. You have to take the risk at that point. Even if it doesn't bang, we only spent 25 million, you can definitely get that back. So for me, it's a no-brainer. We need to get that guy. But yeah, we got to watch for him. We got to watch for their Georgian striker, Mikatsu, or whatever his name is. You know what I'm trying to talk about. You know what I'm saying. He's a good player as well, actually. Even Lacazette's doing his thing. One of their wingers, Nuama, he did get an ACL, so he won't be in the game. So that's pretty good. But to get into the main talking point, about this game, there's a little bit of a rivalry going on, people. There's a little bit of a rivalry going on. Now, what we have today is that ONANA had said the other day that, oh, we're way better than them. We were way better than them, so we're going to go through. And then in the press conference today, they asked MATIC about what ONANA said. And he hits back. He hits back with this. And basically, he just says you're not good at it. You're shit in it. And you need to know it. You know what I'm saying? You're not that great. And that's crazy to me. Just say it straight. You're one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United history. That's a mad thing. That's a mad thing to me, bro. I can't lie. It takes balls to do that. And then ONANA, it gets better. ONANA hits back again. And he says about the whole, I didn't mean to disrespect any club or whatever, but at least I got to lift trophies with this great club. Oh my God. Now, as you all know, Matic was at Manchester United and he didn't win a trophy. So ONANA's basically saying, yeah, I won a trophy at the greatest club in the world and you didn't. So he has a little cheeky hit back at Matic right there. So there is a little bit of a thing going on there. So ONANA, you have to be on your game tomorrow if you even play. You need to be on your game, because if you have a mistake, and we're going to Lyon as well. the crowd is gonna play on that, you know. So you better not have a mistake tomorrow. You better have an absolutely brilliant game because it's Europa League we need to win, and you have a lot of pressure on your back that you put on yourself. So back your talk, innit? But in this situation, I'm gonna back on my player, obviously. So MATIC, I'm sorry, you did decent at Manchester United, but bun off of that, man. We're gonna have to destroy them. I'm sorry. Like, I want us to absolutely destroy Lyon because of those comments. Do I think we'll actually destroy Lyon? I don't think it's impossible because look at how Sociedad the game went. Like, the first leg should not have been 1-1. We all know this. We should have won that game by at least two more goals on top of that. So, and then in the second leg, we showed that we can score the goals that we need to in Europe, and we beat them 4-1. Even though they had a red card, we were creating lots of chances. We were on top. We were on top. So in this game, I do think we can win, 100%. I'm not gonna say that we can't win the game and then whatever. But it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. The weak points of Lyon, I would say, from what I've watched, because I've watched them the last few games just to see what they're fully all about. Because I do watch some of their games just to see Turkey, because he's actually one of my favorite players. I've been watching Turkey for a while, since he was like 19. He's a brilliant player, man, because he's a really good player. But I was tuning in a lot more intuitively these last few games to see what they like, and it looks like their defense is the weak point. Honestly, they concede a lot of chances. So if we can get any sort of like composure and competence in that forward line for this Lyon game, like, we just need that, because what we've been seeing the last few games from us is kind of what you want to see when you're trying to get through a new manager or whatever. Is we're defending well, creating chances, but can't finish them, or making the wrong decisions in the final third. So it's not really the worst thing in the world to be seeing that. It's just frustrating more, you know what I'm saying? Because we want to see us score the goals. We want to see our team win. We want to see us blitz teams away, but it's just not happening because of player quality, i.e. number 17. Which, by the way, he cannot start in this game. I'll get into the starting 11 in a second, but he cannot start in this game. But yeah, so that's what it's been for the last few games. So eventually it's going to click. Hopefully. Sorry, not eventually. Hopefully, because we know it's Manchester United, people. We know how Manchester United operate. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that we can click and score some bit of goals. Because we need to get at least a 2-goal lead in this tie, in this first leg. Because if I don't, or at least the result, we cannot lose this game. It needs to at least be a draw or a win going to Old Trafford. Because if we can get the crowd behind us and we're up 2-1, for example, I think I will win the tie and probably play Bilbao in the semi-finals. But let's look at some starting 11. Let's look at the players that we have. We have Menu is back. Menu is back in training, so that's amazing. I'm actually really happy about that. I've been missing him play, man. He's a quality player. I don't care what anybody says. Quality player, man. Had a bit of a rough start to the season, especially under this manager with the new adjustment period and stuff, which everybody had. So I don't know why people were saying, oh, Menu's not fit for the system, we need to sell him and all of that nonsense. Like, bros, he's having the same adoption period as every single player on the pitch, and you guys are just singling him out. Is it as Sol Campbell would say, is it a color thing? Is it a color thing? I don't know, but the media was going on it probably because of contract issues, to be fair, and whatever. So they're saying he's not committed to the club. He's gonna stay. He's gonna sign a new contract, and he's gonna be a great player for this club, a brilliant player for this club at that. So, but all that talk. And yeah, that's really the only injury news that we have. So I would not start him in this game, obviously not. But who I would start in this game though, I would start ONANA because he had all that talk. I'm gonna start Euro. Is De Ligt fit? No, he's not fit. De Ligt's not fit. I don't know if he'll be fit for this game. So we're gonna have to do a Maguire thing again. And maybe who are our center backs? Mazraoui at right center back. And then I want to see Delo and Dorgu like normal. I want to see Bruno in the pivot this time though. I want to see Bruno and Casemiro, because Casemiro's been playing pretty good. Ugarte has not been in the greatest form recently, so I'll put him on the bench. So I would do Bruno, Casemiro. And then for the front three, I'll do Zerski. Number 9. Number 9. And I may give a start to Mason Mount, you know. I may give a start to Mason Mount and bring him off after 60 minutes, because I think we need that in a game like this, especially away from home. We need that energy in the front line. We don't need players like Garnacho in the front line. I call him Garnacho, number 17 in the front line in a game like this, because we need to either keep the ball or be clinical. So I think I'll be with 2 tens of Zertsky and Mount. Mount, I believe, is kind of a better finisher than Zertsky in a way. But both of them will keep the ball. Both of them keep the ball. That's the most important thing. I know Rasmus isn't going to keep the ball because it's going to bounce off of him and probably hit me all the way over here. But at least he can finish somewhat. You know what I'm saying? At least he can do that. Especially in Europe, he's at least shown he can finish something, do something. You know, he's something. So, yeah, man, it's a pretty interesting game. I'm excited for it. Hopefully we can get the winner result at least. And yeah, people, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys know what to do. Like that video, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.